Your barn is disgusting, Mason, and you should be ashamed. That's what she screamed, windows down on her shiny Bentley parked dead across my barn door at sunrise chrome, glinting so bright it felt like somebody was filming a commercial for luxury cars in the middle of my morning chores. I mean, you ever wake up, walk out with a feed bucket, and wonder if you've wandered into some kind of twisted prank show? Except the cows are screaming the sun's coming up fast, and there's a 1,000-pound sedan where your daily routine is supposed to be. Yeah, that happened. And for a minute, I truly thought I'd lost my mind. Let me back up a sec because you got to understand this isn't the kind of thing that just happens out here. I wake up every day at 5:30, boots on head clear, except this morning the racket from the barn is so bad it makes my stomach tie up in knots. 12 years I've looked after these animals and I've never heard them bawl like that, not even the time lightning struck the fence post out back. It's a different kind of panic, the kind you feel in your bones when routine gets ripped apart. I'm thinking maybe it's just a busted hinge or a latch from yesterday's storm, something simple. But I round the corner and there it is, a brand new gleaming white Bentley blocking the whole entrance like a bank vault door with no key. You could have dropped a piano from the roof and it would have bounced right off that paint. My cows are still going wild, their cries echoing off the metal like an alarm, and I'm stuck, feed bucket in hand, just staring. Confused, angry, honestly, a little bit impressed by the audacity. I walk around to check it out. Spot a half-peeled company decal on the back window. Something official but mostly scraped away like whoever owns it doesn't want you asking questions. Mud on the tires, fresh tracks in the dirt, and not a single sign this car belongs anywhere but a boardroom or a Beverly Hills driveway. This is not a lost tourist. This is someone who meant to be here. Then I see her Malene Pierce HOA aesthetic and PR chair. Oh, you know, the type, sharp suit, sharper attitude, the kind of person who thinks rural charm means a wagon wheel on your porch and not a barn full of hungry livestock. She's got a whole setup going, tripod cameras, some young woman fussing with potted plants, and a fancy mirror propped up against my barn like it's wedding season. They've draped white fabric over the fence, turned my working farm into a magazine spread without so much as a knock or a note. Meanwhile, my herd's beating the inside of that barn door and the sun is heating the whole place up like a greenhouse. Animals can't wait for the right lighting. Feed time is feed time, you know what I mean? And every farmer knows you mess with the schedule, you're risking more than just a cranky cow. But Malene is dabbing at her makeup in the Bentley side mirror, acting like I'm the interruption. This area needs visual consistency, Mason. Your barn looks crude. We're documenting contrasts for our community proposals. Her assistant keeps snapping pictures, never even glancing at the sweating cattle or the mud splattered across her high heels. I try to reason with her, explain these aren't props, they're animals and they need out now. But she waves me off. A neighbor walking his dog stops trying to make sense of the scene, Bentley barn howling livestock, two women with more camera gear than a film crew. He looks like he wants to ask if I'm running a side business as a tour guide for lost millionaires. I go for round two. You planning on sending these photos to Car and Driver? Or is this for a new HOA newsletter about how to ruin a farmer's morning? Sarcasm is lost on her. She just glances at her phone and mutters about community standards. The noise is so bad now you'd think I was hosting a rodeo inside. People 3 houses down are poking their heads out, probably wondering if a tornado dropped a circus in my backyard. I try the side gate, no dice. Tractor can't fit. I'm stuck unless that car moves. So I do what any reasonable person would. I shout across the yard, "Move the car now!" But she keeps posing, rearranging props, acting like I'm the crazy one. That's when my wife Nora comes out holding her thermal camera. She does energy audits, likes to solve problems with data. She points it at the barn. The whole screen lights up orange and red heat building inside animals overheating. Not my opinion, not just noise, scientific proof the barn's turning into an oven. We start filming time-lapse sound, everything. Because if this turns into an animal welfare case, I want more than just my word against hers. Nora pulls out the property deed, lays it flat on the kitchen table, survey lines, old signatures, the works. Mason, this barn is 200 feet outside the HOA line. They've got zero say out here. I run my finger down the old ink, remembering the day we bought this place, the handshake, the hope, the sense that this land was ours and nobody else's business. Now the storm's moving in. What was supposed to be a weekend rain is now hours away. Hail on the radar, hay in the field that won't cut itself. If I can't get that Bentley moved, I can't get the tractor, and if I can't get the tractor, we're looking at thousands lost. You ever have your whole year hang on whether or not someone moves a car? So we document everything. Thermal scans, timestamps, cattle distress. Neighbors are starting to gather, drawn by the commotion. 3 stop by to ask what's going on. I tell them. They shake their heads, muttering about HOA overreach. One woman says, first it's photos, then it's property lines, then it's your whole operation. They get it because they've seen this before. Nora tracks the car's fleet. GPS turns out it's company property, not personal, which puts a whole new spin on things. Neighbors start taking their own photos, documenting everything. Someone calls animal control. When the inspector shows up, measuring wheel in hand, it's not a negotiation anymore. He checks boundaries, confirms this barn is outside HOA jurisdiction, and there's documented animal distress. He starts writing up a formal citation, livestock welfare violations, unauthorized use of commercial property trespass. Malene rolls up, still clutching her camera, trying to talk circles about community beautification. The inspector doesn't care. He's quoting county law, not HOA newsletters. It gets worse. Insurance gets involved. The Bentley track, documented and now part of an official investigation, is a corporate liability. The company's legal department sends a recovery team to tow it. Malene starts waving. What she claims is an emergency beautification permit looks like it was printed at home, signatures don't match, and the neighbors aren't buying it. Officer Blake, the local cop, reviews it and tells her straight up, faking permits is a criminal offense, and now she's under investigation for document fraud. The crowd is watching her unravel, phones out filming. The recovery crew loads the Bentley neighbor's record, every detail, and suddenly Malene isn't the queen of the HOA, she's the cautionary tale. The company holds an auction to recover losses. I win the Bentley fair and square, not because I want to drive it, but because after all this, there's something poetic about turning her luxury ride into scrap on the same ground she blocked for days. I post a sign at the gate, private agricultural property, HOA authority does not apply. Bold, clear, and final. Nora watches as I use the tractor to crush what's left of that Bentley, a sound more satisfying than I expected. The cattle graze in peace, thermal scans back to normal, and for once the only thing echoing across the pasture is the sound of real life, not someone's idea of what country living should look like in a magazine. So here's my question for you. Where's the line between community improvement and outright overreach? You ever dealt with a neighbor or an HOA that went too far? Drop your stories or your opinions below. I want to hear about it. And if you're still with me, thanks for riding out this wild one. Hit the thanks button or share if you know someone who loves a good plot twist. Until next time, keep your gates locked and your tractors ready.